Wow. This is exciting. It's been a while.
Hello.
Hello. Hi, everybody.
Welcome back to another episode of Everything
and Nothing.
Yeah, it's been a little while. I actually moved out of my apartment, I guess 3 months ago, and we've been between studio spaces. We tried one episode at her place, and how'd that go?
Awful. It was awful, and it just felt cramped and weird, and the color of my room was weird, and yeah, it's not working.
It'll probably never see the light of day.
No, I don't want it to. Let's dump it.
But we're back, finally.
Yeah. And just, it's interesting because I feel like we're having, I feel like the last parts of our podcasts were so potent. I almost feel like it grew me out. It kind of kicked us out to another level.
Yeah.
And of life, because we've been doing a lot of changes. But I've really missed this. So welcome back.
Welcome back.
Welcome back.
I will say, bring
back.
the mic a little closer to you just to balance out our levels here.
How's that? Is that better?
That's a little better, yeah.
Yeah, that feels better.
Perfect.
I can hear that.
We're working out the kinks.
Yeah.
We just spent like 40 to an hour just setting up for the first time, getting all the cables to run where they're supposed to run and all the behind the scenes.
It's our new studio. So
it is.
Yeah. It
this
feels
is
good.
The new crib. It feels great. I got roommates again. It's top tier. We got dogs here too. I'm sure you might have heard them already.
Yeah. So if you hear the little furry contributors in the background, that's our little
our
dog
our hit
audience.
Squad.
Hit squad. That's funny.
Life's been good.
Yeah.
Feeling fantastic.
Yeah.
I think Mom has a topic.
I do have a
probably
topic.
have a topic.
Oh, great. That means you're going to pull something out of your hat.
Yeah, if only I had one. Who went first last time?
Boy.
I think you did, but I think we were skipping that episode because we're just throwing it into the waste bin.
Yeah,
so I think it's your turn to go first again.
Oh, well, okay. If you want me to go first, I'll happily go first.
I love it.
So I'm going to put my glasses on here because I actually I spent a little bit more time thinking about this, and I wanted to go back around this topic. So my topic is secrets.
Ooh, yeah. And
we touched on this when we did the live, the farm,
secrets.
Our farm
episode.
My niece Ari had brought up the topic secrets, and we talked about it just tiny bit, but it's been coming up again for me, and I wanted to talk about it. And the first thing I always like to do is well, what are our secrets?
That's a great little segue there. Secrets are a way of hiding or obfuscating reality or truth in a way that sets you up in an advantageous state, I feel like if there's an outcome that you want to have occur. Mm-hmm. And I feel like deception and information control is a way that people go about doing that. Even if their motive is simply, I don't want to look bad. I don't want people to think poorly of me or think I made a mistake. I don't want people to know that I'm capable of making a mistake. Let's keep this hush-hush.
Yeah.
People also, we all have a dark side, right? We all have parts of ourselves
our
that have brought shame or guilt.
Yes.
And we are embarrassed by that. We are, everybody kind of, everybody wears a mask to some degree.
Yeah.
And that mask is effectively hiding the secretive self of you behind it.
Yeah. And it can be like, secrets could be lies. And there's different kinds of secrets too, right? So there's like the personal secrets, and then there's like maybe family secrets. There can be like, so it's multi-layered, and but I also want to just touch before we get into the deep part of this that there's also positive secrets, and there's also secrets like our technical data. Right? Passwords and things like that. But the positive secrets, like you're gonna, throw a surprise party for somebody, or you want to do something nice. I mean, sometimes there's also, like those, those positive ones, but the negative secrets also that I think about a lot are like, the addictions, infidelities, cheating, the stealing, traumatic experiences. It could also incorporate, a lot.
Well, and as far as positive secrets go, like I said, it's about controlling information and manipulating the circumstance. And I think maybe the most glaring example that I have would be like, let's say you're hiding some people under the floorboards and you have some other people coming into your house to kill them.
Yes.
Like Inglourious Bastards, for example, great movie. And so you don't tell the people's looking to exterminate where the peoples they are looking for are.
All right.
Now that's a secret. It's a deception. It's a deviation from truth. But I think in cases like that and many less severe cases, it's a positive, net good outcome that you were trying to achieve.
Yeah. And that kind of comes to also like, so why do we tell secrets? I think you spot on hit it. It's like, guilt, shame, fear. Sometimes it's like fear of life and survival.
Yeah.
But a lot of times it's like we don't want people, to see we're human. Like there's this part of us that we want to set up this unreal expectation. I'll speak for myself where, like I want to make, like I'm a good human being, like I got my shit together. And it's funny because our family sometimes does these big family texts, and sometimes the women in our family do a smaller family text. And we were talking about that, and I had answered, because I had found out that somebody had had an illness and they didn't let any of us know until much later. And I mean, full transparency, it's like I felt like a little hurt. Like I thought we were closer than that. Like, like I found out after the fact, and I was kind of like, oh, and or sometimes in our family, it's like we're like, don't tell anybody this, don't tell, and I'm really grateful that it's been coming up, because it's been giving me the opportunity to kind of look at like, like why is it bothering me? Where's my personal responsibility? Because people get to be who they're going to be, but for me, I take it, there's two sides of this for me. I take it personal when when I think we're really close and people don't share information. I feel like it's a sign that someone doesn't trust me, right? Or they think I'm judgmental, and I have been in the past, so that's a real thing. But then on the other hand, it's like why I hold secrets is a lot of it is, rejection. It's heart woundings. I've been really hurt in the past by revealing something, and then people, using it as a weapon against me, or, making fun of me in front of other people about that thing. And so you learn like, oh, better not share that, keep it secret. So it's kind of really complex.
There's also another facet where it's like, are you keeping a secret from people, or do you just not want to trouble them with your burdensome knowledge, right? Because in the case of like being sick, for example, like I understand how people close to me might want to know if I am terminally ill or something.
Yeah.
But there's also a other side of that where it's just like, I want people to keep treating me as the normal person they always have known, and I don't want them to have to worry or change their lives about it.
Yeah.
Famous comedian Norm Macdonald did that. He spent the last like 5 years of his life battling cancer, and like nobody knew it. He just kept doing stand-up and kept being the funniest guy on the planet pretty much.
Yeah.
And then one day he's gone, and that was it. And it's like he was himself all the way to the end, because that's what he wanted to be. He didn't want to carry that extra cargo on the stage and lay it on everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's that fine line, right? It's like, and everybody gets to make that choice. And that's, I think, why I've been dissecting this of like, like people get to be who they are, and I get to work on not taking it personal, and, And then on the other hand is like I've been then challenging myself is like, where can I be more transparent? Where am I holding secrets?
Yeah.
And then being like, hey, there's this, and then learning how to healthily, talk about it. Because, I mean, there are people out there that aren't safe to tell personal, deep things to. That's a true thing, right? I mean, you also have to have that discernment.
Yeah.
Like, who you're going to tell something to, because that's important, So I've just been looking at that, like, how can I, discern, and where do you hold it in? Because I also was asking the question here of like, because I think that it's okay to discriminate and be like, this is something like I'm creating a new book or I'm working on a part of myself and I don't really want to disperse that energy yet. So I think there is a healthy way of holding information too. And maybe it's a secret, but it's like a holding information in until it's gestated, and so redefining, because that kind of is a secret.
It is.
But it's but it's not shame and guilt and fear based. I think that's more of a higher, I don't know, consciousness.
Well, here's a question. If secrets are deception, and we're discussing secrets as like a bad, in general, a deception that we want to try to avoid, and we want to be able to be more open and vulnerable with each other, because I think authentic interfacing is real and allows us to really have real relationships and really be a part of the world in a way that pretending we're something else doesn't.
Yes.
But so if secrets are a net negative, why is transparency and truth important in your mind?
Well, I think that the more that I can be transparent and tell the truth, it kind of, how do I say, it brings a cohesive unity and wholeness to my life, and I have more energy to create and be who I want. Because I think that the moment I start compartmentalizing stories or things I want to hide from people and all of that, I think that it dissects me from my spiritual evolution. And how much energy does it take to keep that facade up?
You have to remember different stories for different people and like who to be around this person versus what my story is around this person.
Or even if, I'm like I don't like people to know that I'm addicted to crime shows. I feel guilty about that.
This is a confession for her.
It is.
Yep.
And so I'm constantly like, I don't tell people I lay on the couch and watch hours of crime shows. I feel embarrassed about that. But how much energy am I running, right? Compartmentalizing and isolating, like, if people knew I was watching crime shows, and I don't know why. I really like them, but I think that sometimes I'm so wide open in the light that sometimes I need that death energy to kind of counterbalance my life. I don't know, but I feel very attracted to them. But yeah, it derails. It's like keeping all these secrets. It's the opposite of freedom. Right?
I've always thought I was a very honest and open and transparent person. I don't have fake lives and secret skeletons in the closet, and it's always what I've told myself. It's too much work to try to juggle multiple realities and different versions of life to hold for different people. But recently I realized that I don't know if I was deceiving so much, but I was very closed and unable to be transparent. So rather than being deceptive, what I was doing was I was being very cloistered, very invisible, very walled off. And in the last month, 2 months, I've kind of shifted, and I've found what will segue into my topic in a little bit. I've felt very joyful and attuned and just full of emotion, sadness, grief, bliss. And it's been really opening because I think, even though I considered myself a very honest person, I'd been deceiving myself a little bit because I wasn't truly connected to what was going on in here. So that's another point we got to be careful of, is self-deception and like the patterns we fall into that keep us narrow-minded and closed off and believing a falsehood about ourselves.
That is so interesting, Dane, because I was just going to ask that question, is like, does this, do we lie to ourselves?
Oh, all the time.
Yeah.
I think all of us have at least some
or secrets,
hypocritical viewpoints that clash and don't make sense, but then we continue doing X even though it's in contrast to Y. And so I think we all live in like this internal conflicted self. And it divides us. It makes us
isolating.
It makes us more powerless.
Yeah.
If you're pushing both directions, you're not going to move very far. You have to really kind of, I think, find your central peace, find your central truth, and then from there you can meaningfully move in a direction and make significant progress.
So I guess a good question that I want to take away from this is that, to kind of sit and like, where am I keeping secrets, and just dissect like why, why is it that, because I also think it's like you said, like you're afraid people are going to judge, or like, I think it could be a good barometer of where do I have weak boundaries? Because if I'm not willing to share stuff because I'm afraid I'm going to be judged or reject or whatever, then that tells me that there's a weakness there of being able to allow people to be themselves and not take it in and have it impact and hurt me. And there's some self-work to be done there. So I'm going to, I want to think about, where am I keeping secrets from myself? My partner, maybe there's something that I'm not telling my children.
Where that I know. Are these skeletons buried?
And not even like, oh, I did this when I was little and I feel really bad about it. I don't feel like I have any of those kinds of secrets. I pretty much told you guys everything. But I do sometimes feel like I hold secrets where maybe my feelings were hurt about something, or I feel like there's a dynamic in a conversation that doesn't feel like it's in alignment, and rather than sharing that, I kind of just keep it secret to myself, and then, things like that.
I think in the last 5-ish years, you've gotten better at that.
Absolutely.
You'll call out a circumstance where you're like, I feel like you're angry at me, or I feel like...
That's true, I am better at that.
I feel like there's some frustration here, and that's good.
Yeah.
I like when you do that, because it allows us to really figure out what the issue
really
is.
having out, what's really going
bit.
on. Yeah, because I don't think we can solve things if we're not conscious.
Yeah.
And really, that's kind of what secrets are also. It's kind of like things we don't want to look at or deal with, or we're afraid of. And so we're like, let's just put those over in the secret box.
Yeah, asking a man why he's angry when he's angry. It's like, it's not a hard thing for a man to figure out. Pisses me off even more if I'm going to be honest about it.
I know, that's why sometimes I'm like,
no, I was just frustrated, but now I'm getting angry.
And then to take it a step further, it's like, well, your frustration looks like anger to me, and let's unpack that. Because, and that just, that's a different rabbit hole, because that's something I've been thinking about lately too, is like how, I'm really into quantum physics and this whole world of scientific research and discovery about how when you're looking at something, right, it actually will shift, your reality shifts according to the observer. So in a situation like this, I think it's interesting because you're looking at something and it feels like this, like it's frustration. I'm looking at it and it feels like anger. And both of us are true because our observer is creating our reality. But then how can we bring our realities together and meld that observation to change reality into something?
That's a big question. I don't know if we're going to figure that one out today.
No, but anyway. Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, that's a whole different rabbit hole. But I do think it's something that's interesting. And so, yeah, so secrets. I'm going to keep thinking about it and also doing my own work. Like, yeah, like just keep discerning. Like if somebody doesn't tell me something, I'm not going to take it personal. I'm going to work on not taking that personal.
Keep questioning out there.
Yeah, keep questioning.
Keep questioning in here.
Yeah.
Yep.
Look at your secrets. You might learn something.
You might.
And you might put some more stuff in the secret box, too. That's all right.
Yeah. No blame.
No blame. I don't know. That's it for me, I think about on this. Anything else coming up for you? Let me see if there's anything else.
Is,
I did have
I think
some
I'm
notes.
going to keep it a secret.
Yeah. Well, I just want to say, because they were saying that, like healing through secrets, and this is where, just that level of honesty with yourself is a way, so if you do find there's some things, like just being honest and uncovering it to yourself, that hurt me, or this is why I'm hiding that, or, and then just looking for support from safe people, I always find, and then sharing. Because secrets are no longer a secret when you find a safe person to tell it to. And then it just kind of evaporates. And it makes me think of, there's an art installation here in Portland at this living art. It's called Hopscotch. And one of the art installations is these tree pods that you stand under and you listen to people's secrets. And they actually have a booth where you can go in and you can record your own secret. And then it'll come under these little pods that you can stand over and you share your secret. And it's interesting as you're listening to people tell their secrets, how you can hear them all saying this transformation happens as they bear that out. They suddenly feel better. Anyway.
Confession serves a purpose.
It does.
Yep.
Yeah. So anyway.
Unburden yourselves.
Yeah.
Go out in the street.
Discover.
Tell the first stranger you see all about your secrets.
Yeah.
The world will be a more interesting place.
Maybe a better place.
Maybe, probably.
Yeah, probably. Well, I think we'll take a break, right? And come back.
Intermission?
Yeah, we'll be back for part 2. Thanks for
right.
joining us. See you in a minute. I'm going to have some more beverage. It's a beautiful fall day here in Portland. It's been raining a lot, but the sun's coming out.
Oh, it's been awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, that sounds better. We readjusted my microphone.
Part
2.
Yeah.
Part 2.
Well,
yeah.
Let's just jump right into it, I guess.
All right, let's do.
I wanted to talk about the ever-depressing, soul-crushing topic of happiness, joy, and bliss. I don't know. Talking about it might make us happy, but it might.
Let's talk about it. We don't talk about that very often.
Well, yeah. I've never talked about it, really. I've never even felt it before, so
Really?
I didn't know what it was.
Huh.
Yeah, it's interesting. I mentioned earlier that, like, I'd realized or a shift happened, and I realized I'd been I'd been fine.
Yeah.
People ask how I'm doing. I'm okay. I'm fine. And that was true.
Yeah.
I was fine. I was doing just adequately enough. Mm-hmm. And, probably half a decade slipped by, maybe a little more, of being fine. And, it was just my normal state of being. I didn't think anything about it. That's just my standard operating level. Mm-hmm. And, man, I don't know what it was exactly. There was a couple things that happened in tandem. I met a girl and asked a girl out for the first time in a long time, and that added a little bit of butterfly and nervous and fearful excitement into my life.
Yeah.
At the same time, I had a very powerful and just face-to-face conversation with my father and worked on kind of healing the paternal lineage in our family a little bit.
Yeah.
And at the same time, I started feeling a lot, happiness. You know, I'm a man and I'm fine, and I don't cry like ever, really. You know, I haven't cried for a friend's death or even a grandparent's death in a decade plus, probably. I think the last time I really cried over loss was when I lost a little kitty cat. That must have been close to 11-ish years ago.
Yeah.
But you know, I just like sat in my room listening to music, crying for like 20 minutes at a time, blowing my own mind. Like, why? Well, who? Huh? What? How?
What's happening?
Who am I? What's going on here?
Yeah.
And in the last, like I said, month or two, everything seemed brighter. Everything has seemed more vivid. It's like kind of a filter has come off. And I've been in a state of what I would call happiness. I'm really seeing, I'm really sensing, I'm really kind of, you know, appreciating the world around me in a way that I haven't in a long time, if ever. I don't know when the last time I've been like this is.
Yeah.
And it's been very eye-opening, and it reminds me a little bit of when I bicycled through Mexico, just being in a heightened awareness state of bliss day to day.
Yeah.
I still go to work, you know, I'm still working hard, and I'm still grinding hard, and I still am lonely sometimes, and I'm still dealing with the exact same stuff I was dealing with, but my mind has shifted, and everything's just brighter and feels joyful.
Yeah. Yeah.
How is that? Why is that?
Yeah.
And what's your joy and happiness feel like?
Yeah. Well, I just, you know, that's so interesting, because I've had those experiences as well, where maybe it's timing, maybe it's I've grown up, matured a bit more. Like, what is that key at that specific time that seems to unlock that there's like a whole new like expansion, you know? And I have absolutely experienced that. And I'm really proud of you, because I know you've had some experiences with your dad before as well, and other family members and me. But the timing of this is interesting, you know? And so for me, the joy, so I understand that. And I think that it's, you know, intricately, I mean, I think joy, I always think of these feelings as like a stick, you know, or the yin and the yang, right? So you've got, it's one stick, but on this end you've got, you know, joy or happiness, and on this end you've got sadness, depression, you know, but it's all one thing.
Spectrum.
Right. And I'm like, well, how is it, you know? And for me, I keep trying to move the spectrum in more to where it's kind of like this middle path. And the joy for me comes a lot when I'm able to let the experiences of life that are less pleasant, meaning like my car breaks down, or I go to a funeral, or I feel rejected or whatever, and let it move through. And as I become like water through a stone or a sieve, then it's easier to attach to those joyful bubbles. I don't know. It's kind of like a feeling. It's like, because I too have been experiencing that. I'm just like, you know, like I have issues right now. Things aren't 100%. I'm still working on my health. Post cancer, it's like every day I do something towards my healing. I'm getting ready to close my business and start something new, and so I'm having to adjust a lot of money stuff right now. And in it, I'm like hypersensitive, aware of like the beauty of like even the greenery right here where we're doing this podcast, or the joy, or like my back hurts right now as we're sitting in these hard ass chairs. And yet I'm feeling really joyful to be having this wonderful conversation with a cup of coffee with one of my favorite people. It's like that.
Yeah. I liked your water metaphor, because it does feel like a flow. It feels like the whole like letting go, you know, and just kind of going with the adventure, just being present and kind of in, like I'm kind of just in awe and wonder about like how, you know, I got a lot of problems. Everybody does.
Yeah.
But if you just kind of detach from all that and still deal with them, and it's just like, oh, these are the perfect lessons for me right now.
Yeah.
And all the old bullshit that were lessons has brought me to this perfect place I am right now. Yeah. And I just look around and it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's like, this is awesome.
The world's perfect. Yeah, I spent an entire drive from Astoria back here to Portland just in utter awe of how perfect everything is. And it's weird. It's very weird. It's very different. And I wish it upon all of you.
Yes.
It's it's remarkable.
And I have a question though. So how much of this joy and bliss do you find might be attached to allowing the body to metabolize pain out through feelings? Because what I heard you say is that there was a shift, because I do believe that crying, and there's scientific proof again of this, is that when we cry, we actually are releasing toxins. You know, it's a biological system that's been created for us in a way to help us human beings metabolize negative things. So how much of do you think it was like the seeing is once you released some of the blockage filters that maybe were in these unfeeling energies, like maybe when that released, that again, that water, that then the view got bigger?
I don't know. I mean, it's connected for sure.
Yeah.
I don't know how it's connected. I'll say also, you know, I wasn't like crying. Like I didn't feel like, you know, I'd lost anything or like I was miserable.
Like,
It was more just like, wow, look how beautiful everything is.
Yeah.
Wow. Look how amazing I feel listening to this song right now. Wow, every single word in this song makes perfect sense. It's like they're talking to me.
Yeah.
It's like a crying from connection.
Yeah, not from like,
rather than like,
I'm in pain.
Yeah, like, they're putting vice grips to my balls. Ah! Like, I don't know. I mean, that's...
Yeah, because that's where I would go. That's my first thought.
I've always associated crying as like, you know,
something,
a negative emotion, and it's always out of a feeling of loss. Yeah, I think is where it's most closely associated.
Yeah, and I have done a lot of that crying.
Yeah, and I still haven't. I don't feel like I've lost anything. Sure, some friends have fallen by the wayside, and grandparents pass away, as is the natural progression. But I you know, I've always felt like, you know, it's more important to like appreciate the gift that I had with those people in the time, rather than just dwell on the fact that like selfishly I've lost somebody, I've lost something. It's like I no longer have this person to utilize or use, and I would love to ask some advice and some questions of these people that were in my life. Yeah. You know, in retrospect, it's like, wow, these people were a wealth of information and knowledge. If only I had asked X, Y, and Z, I've solved the world's mysteries by now. But, you know, that's gone. Right. And there ain't no reason to fret over it, at least in my prognosis. Yeah. Everybody says they want to be happy. Yeah. And so the question is, what is happiness and how do we get there? Yeah. And in my case here, I got to this place by not trying and not caring for a very long time. Yeah. I don't know what the shift was. Maybe it's also just like a Neanderthalic endorphin rush of having asked a girl out. That's possible. Maybe it was all just, you know, biochemical. That's a possibility.
Maybe it's a combination of all of it, right? Because if we're perfectly formal, you know, where we're supposed to be at every moment, things are constantly unfolding. Yeah. Yeah. Because I think for me, it's like life is kind of like, you know, we talk about it like a journey. And as all journeys, you're learning something and seeing something new every moment of every day. And so this question and all these topics that we talk about forever keep coming back around because today's a new day.
Yeah.
And when I think about happiness and joy, you know, one of the big turning points for me was after I went through my second cancer scare last April and I had to go through all those tests again. It was like I really felt the preciousness of life and that I'm one of the lucky ones that I'm still here. And I don't want to squander that. I don't want to, you know, like what? I want to get up in the day, like, oh my gosh, I hurt. And oh my God, that bullshit and that president and this person and that party. And, you know, I just get bogged down with this, like all of this stuff that, yes, on one level it's important, but I think on a bigger level, it's not important. And so what I do most days to find my joy meter is like, wow, what a great day. I'm going to be alive. You know, I'm alive. I choose life. And I like to say to myself, I wonder what kind of shenanigans we're going to get up to today. Because I want to be mischievous. Now, with that, I'm human. And there are moments where I'm like, oh my God, I'm so tired. And I don't want to go to the doctor again and whatever. But they're fleeting moments now as opposed to days and weeks. It's a moment. And I'm like, and then I remind myself, I'm like, yeah. Or then I'll see the sun, or I'll see a beautiful picture, or somebody will smile at me, or I'll have this amazing experience. Yeah. And then immediately I'm in bliss.
That's nice.
Yeah.
I had a conversation with a friend of mine recently about bliss in particular. And it does seem to be that bliss stems from a release of pressure. Yes. We all live under a pressure, pressing responsibilities, a job, a family commitment, your studies at school, financial debt, whatever it is. There's all these pressures demanding from you. And I've had multiple moments of bliss that I remember, and most of them are associated with freedom from those pressures. The bike trip through Mexico was a state of bliss for multiple months, and it occurred right after I had been grinding 3.5 years, straight A's through university, putting in, 60 hours a week in the library, studying, reading every textbook verbatim and translating it. And then that's all said and done. I took a breath, I got a bicycle, I just started riding, and all of a sudden there was no pressure. It's just like, I'm going to go as far as I can go. I'm going to find a place to sleep. I'm going to figure out food. That's it. Bliss. Another example, I was working UPS, very soul-crushing job, back-breaking job. That's where the belt shelf invention came from, was from all that hard work and many hours of 60-hour weeks, moving and slugging boxes. And I was pretty miserable towards the end there, especially. And I was kind of forced into a corner to resign. Good paychecks, good stability, good financial long-term outcome working that job. And I remember signing the resignation papers hesitantly and with some fear of, damn, what am I going to do next? And I walked out that front door of UPS corporate, and I felt so good. I felt so light. I felt so free. I felt so just out of nowhere joyful. And so I think bliss is, like you said, part of that spectrum. And when you have all of this pressure pushing you into, being cloistered and feeling attacked and feeling overwhelmed and feeling stressed, and then you're able to let go of that, the scales teeter the other direction, and you get a euphoria that I can only describe as that.
And I think that what's coming up for me is that a big key of having the joy and the euphoria is to have these pauses in your day or these conscious breaks where you are noticing the things that you like. Even if you're at your job and your head down, it's like, hey, take those mini breaks to look around, take a drink of water, look at the trees. It's really about, for me, the joy is to keep reminding myself, seeing the beauty. And this last week was, I go and help my daughter at her play school, Sweet Pea Play School out in Cascade Locks, 1 day a week. 'Cause she doesn't need me to do it, but I love it. I've got addicted to the kids. All of them. There's such a sweet little group of kids. But I finished around 4 or whatever, and I was just feeling like I wanted to go. I just, like, again, taking that conscious break and, like, I want to go just look at nature. So I went to Thunder Island, and I was walking, and I just sat on this rock and just seeing the trees and the Bridge of the Gods and the Columbia water, and the sun was shining. It was just, again, it was that very euphoric moment. And I too sat on rocks, and I just wept for an hour almost. And it wasn't about anything. It was just like weeping at the beauty of the world. And if I hadn't been conscious enough to stop and take that time to fill myself up with something that evokes, that reminds me of beauty and joy, I would have just gotten in my car and I would have driven down, I-84 and been kind of grumpy, and tired, and then get home and go, oh, I'm tired. However, because I listened and took that pause, it's like I came home just like bing, full of joyful energy all through the night.
Nice.
So I think that's also a big part of this joy, happy, is you got to do something to bring it in too. You have to participate, in my opinion. You have to find a way to participate to see what it is that brings you joy.
Yeah.
And maybe that's a discovery. What makes you be happy?
Be present.
Know. Yeah, be present.
Be present. Follow your intuition.
Mm-hmm.
Break the routine and the monotony from time to time.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful
maybe
world out here.
Uncover some secrets.
Hey, I've been digging down secret rabbit holes my whole life.
Yeah, maybe there's...
I want to know them all. Got to catch them all.
Maybe there's something that you need to confess to yourself that might bring in more joy. You never know. But anyway, I love that. I'm excited for you, Dane. That sounds like I feel, and I'm excited for me. I feel like we're in a similar place right now.
It's a significant
moment.
Good. So I wanted to just take a moment and feel it, look at it, understand it the best that I can. It's really just a moment to like see my own internal workings change and learn from that a little bit. Yeah. And hopefully get better at carrying this into the future is kind of my goal here. Yeah. And I'm wondering, like, I think about this myself, like how to bring that Mexico experience here and now, like how can you, because I think about that with my El Camino when I was walking again, like sometimes there wasn't that pressure of regular life. And I found that by just walking and walking and walking for hours, it just unwound things in me and just seeing the beauty of everything and then unwind. And I've been thinking about that recently, is like, how can I start bringing that practice back as my ankle's healing? I want to start walking as a way to, relieve that pressure or, like undo maybe my mental conundrums, like how can I bring those experiences back to the here and now as a touchstone? So maybe there's something in your life that was that for you. Maybe you can dust it off and, bring it out into the present day to help. I don't know. Maybe we all can. Yep. Yeah. It's a good one. I feel full. My brain feels, I was telling Dane that we haven't done it for 3 months, and I feel really rusty. Like I feel like when we were doing it as a regular practice, I felt like I was really good at communication and my brain was more sharp. And so being here today, I feel a little rusty, and I feel like my tongue's a little tied sometimes and the synapses are a little slow. So I'm looking forward to
dusting that off and getting better at it again. And I'm really excited to be here.
Get that whetstone out.
Yep.
Start sharpening that blade again.
Yep. Start getting back to it. So thank you.
Thank you.
And thank you guys. This has been fun.
Always is.
Always is. So I guess we'll send you off. Is there anything else you want to say before we end?
I'm SumOne. It was a pleasure taking a moment and just kind of spitballing, investigating.
Yeah, I'm Anezka. You guys know that.
They probably
Hopefully.
do.
All right, guys. Be well. Big love. Big blessings. We'll see you again in a couple weeks.
See you down the road.
Okay. Bye. Cheers. Cheers.
Well,
that was good.
I think so.
I think that was great.
Yep.
I feel, like I said, I feel really rusty. It kind of feels like the first time I did it.